A man accepted a challenge: stay in a room with 100 chickens for 24 hours.
Так, оп.
Ладно.
And he'd win $10,000. But the room reeked, feathers were flying everywhere. Could he last that long? At first, George lay comfortably on the bed. But as the crew released more and more chickens, the space quickly became crowded, and the floor got filthy. The bed became George's most precious territory. He rolled up the bed sheets and set them aside to protect them from being ruined by the hens. But the hens seemed to love flying onto the bed, and soon it became a territory war between two species. Then the crew dumped all the remaining chickens into the room. The space was now nearly full, and the smell had become truly unbearable. George was determined to keep the bed clean, but the chickens kept hopping on. He grew more and more irritable, thinking this challenge might be too much. Next, the crew gave George a task: catch 5 eggs, and he'd earn a game console. Luckily, he completed it, but the console was locked in a cage, and the passcode was hidden on the legs of 3 chickens. George had to hunt for the code, and after some effort, he finally unlocked the cage. With the console to entertain him, he felt he might actually make it through. Later, the crew delivered some KFC fried chicken. Eating fried chicken in a chicken coop sounded twisted, but George still ate it happily. The smell in the room got worse and worse. It was even getting hard to breathe. Thankfully, the crew provided him with some air freshener. That night, sleeping was impossible. The hens were so timid that any tiny sound would send them flapping. To calm the flock, the crew kindly introduced a big rooster. George was terrified. Then, they told him if he pretended to be another rooster, the chickens would stop fighting. George actually believed it, and even started dancing to entertain the birds.
Крыльями вот так, оп.
Ладно.
Finally, the last hour arrived. George had managed to live in harmony with the chickens. At last, 24 hours were up. Congratulations, George had succeeded. But just as he hoped to forget the whole nightmare, the crew handed him a framed photo, so he'd remember it forever.